Starting.
What? It says live. Hey, America.
Hi.
Hey, rest of the world. We are The Price is Right, and welcome to our Google Hangout. I'm Adam Sandler. I'm the director and producer of The Price is Right, and I am joined today, any second now, by James O'Halloran, our male model on The Price is Right, winner of our male model search. And the illustrious George Gray will hopefully be joining us from the road somewhere in America. And I don't even know where he is, so I hope to find out soon. We're here all hour while you guys watch the show. And also joining us is, oh, there he is. It's James O'Halloran, everybody. Hey, James.
How you doing?
Good. How are you this morning?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. I just rolled out of bed in some sort of coastal town somewhere.
And we won't be, your undisclosed location. We won't be telling anybody exactly where you are.
I wish I could say. We just stopped at the hotel once we got tired of driving. So.
Oh, are you on vacation?
Exactly. We're heading up to Carmel.
Oh, very nice. There's a great. Well, if you go for, are you going up to Monterey?
I think we will check out Monterey. We're going to see Hearst Castle today, and then check out. I don't know what else we've got on the plan up there, but yeah, a bit of Monterey.
Cool. If you go up to Monterey, I highly recommend Katie's Place. Great breakfast place. Amazing breakfast. You'll never forget it.
To the public, it's not just your personal friend.
No, not my personal friend. Just a restaurant we found. It's great. You gotta go. But bring cash. They only take cash. Who does that?
Okay.
Katie's Place, if you're watching, credit cards, please. Well, I don't know. I also didn't get to introduce one of our illustrious producers, Heather Allen.
Hi there.
She is actually the one of the two producers who are behind the amazing, epic event that is Social Media Week on The Price is Right, also known as Socially Awesome Week. In the office, we call it Social Media Week because we use the word awesome a lot in the office, but we try not to overuse the word awesome because we know it can be overused. So, but it is an awesome week. And speaking of awesome, I just saw, Heather, that we went past 100,000 followers on our Twitter.
That's correct. We have been live tweeting all week, and on Monday, I think it was, we passed 101,000 followers. So thank you guys for doing that, and keep on following us at Price is Right.
That's awesome. So we haven't seen George yet, but who knows? He could pop in at any time. There's James wandering the halls of wherever he is. Heather's in the production offices at The Price is Right. I'm at my house working out of my home this morning. And we are here, and we hope that someone else is here because we would love to have the audience submit some questions as I look in the right-hand column of my Google Hangout window where it says, ask your audience to submit questions, and they will appear below. But I see no question. So
it says we have 19 viewers right now, and viewers, if you go to the left-hand column of your app and push the question and answer little tab, you'll be able to ask us questions, and we'll answer them for you.
Otherwise, they'll ask some questions.
We have 19 people watching?
Now we have 20.
20? Well,
yeah.
It's because the other 5 million of our viewers are watching the show as it airs on the East Coast.
Of course.
For us in California here, very early in the morning, very, very early for us Hollywood types.
Yesterday we did a Reddit AMA, and we had a lot of questions that were asked, and we didn't get to all of them. And one of them that I don't think we got to that would be interesting for both Adam and James would be to find out, there was a question, if you guys weren't on The Price is Right as a director, producer, and the real Adam Sandler, and as a model, what would you be doing with your careers, and how has The Price is Right changed life for you? Do you want to take it first, James?
Yeah, I'd love to take that one first. Well, I moved here to Los Angeles a year ago, so I quit a desk job. I used to be an industrial designer, and so I moved to. Oh, there's George Gray.
George.
Hey guys!
What breaking news, everybody! Breaking news.
Good morning. Fresh off the press.
it's TV's George Gray.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Wow, George, that is amazing. You are driving somewhere through America.
And can you see the Indian motorcycle in the back of my truck?
And the cat carrier.
And
You've just gone up there.
White trash. That's right, baby. That's me. Woo!
I don't know if you could have. I didn't realize you could get any cooler in my books, George, but you just did.
It's happening. It's real, baby. It's real, yo.
Where
who's
are you?
on right now?
Well, we've got myself.
Where am I? I just left Bisbee, where I have a house, about 45 minutes ago. So I'm now outside of Douglas on the 80. So if anybody's following, you can see on the Highway 80. It's the middle of nowhere, and I'll be amazed if I have reception the whole way.
Thanks. I'm glad you were able to join us for as long as you have reception. Oh, look, we have a question. And then we'll get back to James finishing that last question. But the question is, what is your favorite Christmas game? George, do you want to answer that first?
What's my favorite price game?
Yeah, price game.
I love because I'm such a gearhead and it's got little. So.
Well, we got George frozen. We should maybe we can play guess what game George likes the most based on that very little bit of information that we got from him as he broke up.
Who can get it?
Well, George was dark for a second. James, what's your favorite Price is Right?
Is he back?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we're losing people.
Did we lose James and George?
I don't know.
Here.
Adam, what's your favorite game?
Okay, my favorite game is we had this question on the Reddit AMA yesterday, and my response on the AMA was that would be like choosing my favorite tile. They're all great games, is how I'll preface it. The second thing I'll say is I am partial to some of the games that I put on the show.
Pay the rent!
Pass the buck, time is money. I like those games, but let's take my games out of it for a second. My two favorites, I think, all that being said, long answer, Nicholas, sorry, Punch a Bunch and Spelling Bee and Three Strikes. And 10 chances when... That's a lot.
So basically, Adam loves every single game.
I do. Like I said, I can't pick a favorite.
I think I heard George saying it as well, but I'm a big fan of Pay the Rent.
Yeah, that's a fun one. $100,000.
$100,000, and I like the ones that I get to participate in a little bit. So I get to open up the letterbox, put the little prizes in, and then put the items in the bag. It's fun. So.
Do you have a favorite prize model?
Do I have a favorite prize? I couldn't. I do have to say, and she's really helped me through when I've had no idea what's going on and that sort of thing. She's certainly. I spent a lot more time with Rachel, so good friendship there. But also, Manuela and Gwendolyn and Amber, they're all fantastic. And such.
Oh, yeah, they're all great, but not which model do you like best? Is there a particular prize that you like to model the best, like a car or something?
Here's the troubles with that internet connection.
I know.
A prize that I like to model, the karaoke set. So I always seem to make a goof of myself, but I find that to be pretty fun.
Yeah, there was that great moment where you sang for us with Manuela.
Yeah, I'm kind of using the term sing very loosely. Thank you.
So George, earlier we were talking about where there was a question on our Reddit AMA yesterday. Where do you think you would be if you weren't on The Price is Right? What would you be doing in your career? How's Price is Right changed your life? What do you think about that?
Where would I be? Well, this is actually, Price is Right, not a lot of people know, is community service work for me. So I would be on the freeway picking up trash in an orange vest.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, it's I do this, and then I don't have to. It counts as the community service, and I get junior college credit. So it sort of works out for me nicely. You know, I've been on TV for a long time, and you know, so I might have another show, but I can't imagine being anywhere else because it's just I have the most fun. It's the greatest family, and it's just a blast. So every day that I show up, I'm happy to be there.
We're happy to have you. And Adam, I assume Adam, you would be making big Hollywood movies.
Big Hollywood, like Can't Buy Me Love or something like that. Yeah, that'd be making blockbusters, all right.
Yes, that's exactly what I would be doing. No, I think there wasn't the question that if I didn't work in TV, what would I be doing? I guess I'd probably be a lawyer. I guess I'd probably be a lawyer because that's kind of what I thought I was going to wind up doing until I discovered television and went, oh, that looks like a lot more fun. So, and I think I was right. So yeah, that's probably what I'd be doing. I'd be a lawyer and I'd be bored and I'd have to wear a suit all day.
And Adam, isn't today your birthday?
Tomorrow is my birthday.
Oh, tomorrow. Well, happy almost birthday.
Ah!
I thought yesterday you said tomorrow.
Thank you. 29 again.
How did you get your start on The Price is Right? You've been here just a couple of years.
Yes. Well, people like to say I was born on The Price is Right. I was left in a bassinet behind door 2. And been there ever since. How did I get my start? I started, my title at the time was editorial consultant, which was a fancy term at the time for a PA who writes showcases. So I started loading game graphics and doing office work like making copies and working with our show material and getting that all ready and writing showcases. So I got to go to the showcase meetings, helping putting those together, and just still actually doing some of the same things I did back then because you just keep on doing what you know and I just kept elevating it and went from there. And here I am. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, you're hungry.
Yeah, you wear a lot of hats on the show, Adam. You really do.
Well, it's fun. I mean, it's the best part of the job. And George, you say it to the audience all the time is, we're one family and we love it. And it's fun to come to work every day. And that's the best part of our jobs is that we actually look forward to coming to work every day. There's so many people who unfortunately don't, but we are very, very lucky. And, we just love what we do and love coming to the show.
Yeah, like it'd be awesome if you were digging ditches for a living and you had people cheering you on. Hey, good job! Woo! We get that. It's great. We get it every day.
Yeah.
And James gets to take his shirt off. I mean, what kind of job, what other job do you have besides a lifeguard where you get to take your shirt off for everything you do?
I think they call them strippers, but I'm one step away. One step away. I do it.
Ladies, put your hands together. Center stage. Oh, that's great. That's genius.
How's the cat enjoying the trip? Because I hear some plaintive meows going on in the background.
I know. You know what? He's his name is Patrick Swayze. My kitty Sinatra. He died, and so I adopted him. He's 10 years old. I don't think he's ever been in cars. So a lot of cats don't like it. I was always spoiled. My kitties loved cars cruising with me. He's learning the ropes right now. So, but this is like his second leg of the journey. I think he's getting it. We're gonna stay at a motel somewhere tonight, and he'll be all right. He'll be okay. Right now, about the first 2 hours, he mews.
Well, I hope that you told him going in that if he's going to be George Gray's cat, he has to get used to traveling a lot.
You know what? Yeah, it's part of the glamour. But he was in kitty jail for 6 months, at a kill shelter and in a tiny little box. So I think this is a better deal.
Yes, he's very lucky as well.
Oh, he's a good little guy. Is he what?
Is he neutered?
What kind of announcer of The Price is Right would I be if he was not spayed or neutered? What would that be if I was not controlling the pet population?
Yes.
Yes, he is neutered.
All of our pets are spayed and neutered.
Exactly. That was part of that just to get the job on Price. They're very strict about it.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
I think we got you back. So,
Oh, this just in. We got another question.
oh look.
Love it.
What is your favorite part of the show? Good question.
Who wants to take this one? James?
I can take that one. I feel like definitely the showcases. It's the sort of the excitement builds. We have that little time where we get to take a break while they spin the wheel, and then it comes back for the big finale with the showcase. And it's amazing to see the impact that it has on people when they win the prizes. It really is life changing for a lot of people, and a lot of people get very emotional, and I find that part to be definitely the most enjoyable.
George, what about you? Oh, where did he go?
I think George looks frozen to me.
He's gone into a death stare.
Yeah. Hope everything's okay on the road. I'll take the next one, and hopefully George will pop back. My favorite part of the show is actually the very, very top of the show. It's I get excited at the top of the show. We can't you don't hear it on CBS, but we count back from 10 in the booth, and we fade up, and we're searching for people, and everybody's screaming, and the first 4 people jump up, and they run down, and Drew comes through the door, and he says hi to George, and it's just like it's an amazing minute of television to me, and seeing 4 people that happy, getting to say hi to Drew, the roof is coming off the place. It's amazing. I love it. I love the top of the show.
Yeah, the top of the show is great. One thing that we get to see in the studio that the audience gets to see, but our viewers don't, is that George is warming up everybody, and then you're up in the booth, Adam, where nobody can see you, and then suddenly here you come, and we have a little Top Gun game that we play. Do you guys want to demonstrate that?
Well, I think we lost George.
Oh,
so we couldn't do it. Well, we did a little bit. We had a behind-the-scenes video when we did our You Decide week. We asked many questions, and our Twitter followers helped us choose the direction of the show that week. And one of the questions was, would you rather see a behind-the-scenes video of #Adam or #Stan, who does our contestants, our co-producer Stan Blitz. And I was victorious, thank you, Twitter. Adam won, and we did a behind-the-scenes video on me. And in the video, we popped to George down on the stage, and I jump on our PA announce and let George know. I say, "Oh, George," and George says, I don't know if you caught that in time, but George will say, "Oh, that's our director, Adam, up in the booth." But around here, we go by Top Gun names. And Adam's call sign is Goose. And what do you say, Goose? And I'll say, "Well, Maverick, it's time to do a show." And George will say, "Let's do a show." He'll run off, and off we'll go. And that happens literally 30 seconds before we start the show. And the evolution of the Top Gun names, I don't even remember at this point how it started. I know George started it, but I don't know how or why.
Am I back on? Can you guys hear me again?
We can hear you.
We can hear you and see you.
I think I remember how the Top Gun thing started. I think it was when you first started, George. I think I was the AD. I was the associate director.
Yep.
And I was in your ear a lot, kind of moving you through what we needed to do next, and just kind of helping you learn the show. And you at one point said, "Oh, so you're my wingman." And I said, "Yeah, I guess I am your wingman." And then you just said, "Okay, Goose," and so the Top Gun legend of The Price is Right was born.
It's so funny because I remember it differently, but it's like who created the margarita? We already have different stories. I remember when I was first, because I was auditioning on camera, just like Jeff Davis and Brad Sherwood and everybody else. And I remember, you guys said, put your ears in and then let us know that you're ready to go. And I said, okay. And, of course, you're going to be all amped up and you want to get it right. This is, my very first show. And I thought I said, you're my eyes, Goose. And I was just taking a Top Gun reference, and I said it one time. So maybe I did say that again later, and I don't even remember that. But I just remember, like, oh my God, here we go. I cannot possibly screw this up. So yes, you got to lean on Goose.
Yeah,
I still do. It's great.
That sounds. I think it's probably somewhere in the middle, but I do remember you saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do remember
mine's,
that.
Mine's a little more Hemingway poetic, but yes. But also, the truth is, it's kind of like being in the aerial dogfight, because there's times when, and if you're watching right now, it's like if there's a shot that takes a second for the cameraman to get there, and that Adam needs a moment, I can stall a little bit and I can drag out my words. And sometimes it's only a quarter of a second or a half a second, and I could do that all for me. And it's sort of like we can watch each other's backs, while we're out there, and it makes the show smoother, it makes it flow better, and the editors don't rip out their hair then later on, so it works out great.
Any more so than they already do.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like we have some questions coming in from Justin in St. Louis. He says, hi, George. And he has a question for James. Since starting on Price is Right, how has your life changed? And what is it like working with Drew, George, Amber, Manuela, Gwen, and Rachel?
Yeah, wow, that's a great question. I actually believe it's a bit like, you ever have that fantasy as a kid of like crawling inside your TV and just being in that world? It's sort of it's what it feels like a lot of the time. It's like I can't believe that that I'm standing there in like this American game show with these guys, Drew, Gary, George Gray, and I'm literally sitting there pinching myself a lot of the time, I think. I guess in terms of changing my life, it's made I'm an actor over here in Los Angeles, a bit of stability to my life, which is something that a lot of actors don't get the privilege of in LA. So it's the first thing in my calendar is always Price is Right. It's like 3 months in advance. They say, okay, are you available these days? I'm like, well, yeah, since there's nothing in my calendar past next week, I think I'm available. I can be there for that. So I guess I really feel like I've become part of a little family there, which is just amazing to have a little a network to belong to and that sort of thing. Yeah, I guess that's it. It's really just it's given me some structure and stability.
And plus, now that you've got that job, you're no longer an undocumented immigrant, and so we cleaned all that up for you, because I know that was a lot of trouble.
And that's fantastic.
We had to keep clearing the INS to come on the stage. It was really getting out of control.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, you came over in a shipment of boomerangs from Sydney, hidden in a box, and.
I'm still selling them. If anyone would like to buy a boomerang, never got around to selling them. Drew often has the joke at the start of the show that I've just flown over for the show and thinking about maybe moving to Los Angeles. So that could be a financial decision to make.
It's a lot of frequent flyer miles.
Oh,
a lot of like Qantas, the service is great.
James, how long have you lived in the States?
I moved to the States in February last year, so it's just over a year.
Wow, so that's really cool. So you came in and then you nailed the Price is Right. That's fun.
It's absolutely amazing. It was in terms of, because I moved over with my girlfriend and we it was all a big matter of like wait and see. Okay, so she's away from her family as well. It's like if things go well, we'll stay a little bit longer than a year. But here we are, and we've got no plans of moving back anytime soon. So.
James, there's another question for you. Where did you live, where did you live, and what job did you have before you won the male model contest?
Right. So. Yeah, I come from Melbourne in Australia. Before that, I grew up in country Australia. So I grew up on a farm of like 30,000 acres. You drive for 6 hours out of Melbourne, you come to a town called Swan Hill, which had about 20,000 people. Then you drive for another hour, you come to a town called Balranald, which had 1,500 people. And then you drive for another 45 minutes, and you came to our farm, which was just as middle as nowhere as you can possibly imagine. And we left that when I was about 15. And I moved to Melbourne and became a bit cityified, realised what I was missing out on, and then I moved to LA last year, and not looking back really. It's each steps it's got bigger and bigger, and I'm loving it.
That sounds just like where I grew up in New Jersey.
Lots of sheep around there too.
Oh yeah, lots of open space.
Lots of kangaroos.
Takes 3 hours to get anywhere, so that was kind of the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't remember if there was any more to that question. Was there more to that question?
No, I think we covered it. There was another question on here. So we're obviously doing this Google Hangouts for Socially Awesome Week. And we're having a socially awesome time, of course. But there was a question, I think it was also from Justin, about what's the hardest thing about putting the show together. I think he means in general, but we might as well talk about what the hardest part about putting Socially Awesome Week together was. Adam, do you want to start?
Well, I think you could probably speak to that better than I could. Honestly, I don't think there's any part of the show that's hard to put together. It's all just fun, and it can be challenging. You know, we try to do something new, like a You Decide week or a Socially Awesome week or a Couples week, something like that. Those are challenging, but they're fun. It's not hard because it's so much fun doing it. So, I would say, when you do anything new, it's always a challenge, but it's fun. So hard would not be the word I would use.
Yeah, I agree. There are challenges, but it's a lot of fun, and you just be really creative and like we did Socially Awesome Week last week as well. But the biggest challenge was how are we going to top the last year, and what are we going to do that's different and bigger and better? And so we've had a lot of fun things going on. One thing you might notice if you're watching our Twitter account today is that Phil, the host of The Amazing Race, has taken over our Twitter account and is tweeting for us. So we do a lot of fun things to keep you excitement and socially awesome.
Is he tweeting about this right now?
I should go on Twitter and check. I bet he is. I know we are. So
it's a tweetable offense, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Trevor, the other producer, just texted me that we're getting a lot of tweets about our Hangouts, so people are watching us.
How many viewers do we have now? What are we up to?
Well, it's been going up and down.
Counting my mom?
I think my mom just got on.
Thanks, Mom.
George, is your mom watching?
My mom has the same level of technical expertise with computers that I do, so no. Like, I'm amazed that this is actually happening. Like, this is from the future. I set it up on my dashboard. I got my phone right here. This is my phone is I'm using it as a hotspot. Can you believe that?
What?
Hotspot. Just trying to say that was an internet hotspot.
And this is my iPad, and like, holy moly, who'd have thunk, huh?
You have an iPad?
It sounds like
You kids and your technology.
I think Let's see if there's
Oh,
any.
I can't hear anybody now.
That's because we stopped talking for a second. I was reading the questions to see if any new questions came in.
Oh, okay.
But I don't see any new ones.
Here's one. Let's see. It's directed to Mike.
Well, let's get Mike on the phone.
Yeah, let's get Mike. Maybe Adam can answer this one instead. A question I have for, let's say, Mr. Sandler is, in the future, would you ever have a contestant for a fan of Price is Right to be Drew for a day? I think that'd be priceless.
That
Or
would be
not a contest, a contest for a fan of Price is Right to be Drew for a day.
Drew Carey for the day. That would be. I'd like to be Drew Carey for the day. I think that would be fun. No, I don't think we've thought of that, and I will. I'll bring it up at the next pitch meeting to Mr. Richards.
Yeah.
We'll see what he thinks.
What is it to? Is it to be hang out with Drew Carey for the day? Is that what the idea?
Yeah,
It just says have a contest for a fan to be Drew for a day, but I bet people would like to hang out with Drew for the day.
Oh, I was going to say, because then you could make the last place person would have to hang out with me for the day.
Carrier.
George, do you have a favorite part of working with Drew? And never mind. Looks like we lost him.
No. Did we get any other good questions from the AMA yesterday? We didn't get to.
Let me pull it up. I'm sure there were some. Oh, one from the AMA that we didn't answer yesterday was, what's your favorite salad dressing?
Dressing.
What's your favorite salad dressing?
Yes, that was a question that was asked in the AMA yesterday that we didn't get to.
We also got, what do we eat for breakfast?
Yeah, and everyone loved Rachel's answer.
Yeah.
I think she said sausage and eggs and something else was bacon. I can't remember, but it was great. And coming from someone who also likes to work out, you can eat that stuff and then still keep a figure.
Yeah,
right.
Apparently. Yeah. Well, the interesting part was that Rachel eats eggs, sausage, and an English muffin, fat and carbs, and Stan and I eat oatmeal and fruit. So, pull from that what you will.
Well, I'm actually I'm having breakfast right now, and it's Dr. Pepper 10 in a cozy, and while we were talking, some Ruffles, cheese flavored. So
I'm gonna say, it sounded like you're mixing
nothing's too good for this temple. You don't just get this automatically, so I got to work at it.
It's just genetics.
What time is it where you are, George?
What's that?
What time is it where you are?
It is I guess 8 something. Yeah.
Oh, you're in our time zone.
It's LA right now.
He's in Arizona. So yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like a different decade here, but it is the same time.
the same specific time. 99.
I'm looking at the prairies right now. It's very pretty.
James, what do you like to eat for breakfast?
Yeah, I'm kind of boring. I've been eating the same breakfast for about 10 years, which is muesli, and I just stack a bunch of fruit in there. I think really my breakfast is coffee though. Like I roll out of bed and I think to myself, God, I gotta get up, but at least I get to have a coffee. So it pretty much gets me out of bed for the day. That exciting.
You like Vegemite?
What was that? Sorry.
You like Vegemite? That's Australian, isn't it?
I love Vegemite. It's
What
has
exactly
anybody else
is it?
here tried it?
What exactly is Vegemite?
Well, it's actually it's a vegetable and yeast extract, and it's black in color. It looks like motor oil.
And it smells like a foot.
It does. It does.
Terrible.
It tastes even better. I once I lived in Holland, and the Dutch love their chocolate and their Nutella and that sort of thing. And I once got a Dutch person. I convinced him that it was chocolate, and he put a big scoop of it on his finger. I said, "Try that out," and put it in his mouth. And the look on his face, he said yeah, some profanities follow, but essentially it tastes it's really salty and it's just not what you expect when you're expecting to eat some chocolate. That's really the only way I can describe it. It's salty, and so it's like I don't know. It's a savory snack. You put it on your toast, lots of butter. It's delicious.
Interesting. It looks like we have a question asking what our daily is.
Well, I think we need to answer the salad dressing question. I think. I mean,
Oh yeah, we didn't.
the world.
The world wants to know.
Yeah.
What do you like, Adam?
I don't use much salad dressing when I have a salad, but when I do, it's straight up oil and vinegar for me.
Yeah.
Same here. Gotta do the olive oil and the vinegar.
James, what do you like?
Well, in the States here, it's the land of choice. There's so many opportunities, so I'm going through them all. Even at Subway, I like the ranch dressing. There's always like a smoky barbecue or something. I'm really mixing it up, just trying them all out. I'll come back to you in a couple of weeks, and I'll be able to tell you what my favorite is.
And George, do you know what a salad is? We lost him.
He knows what chips are.
Oh, he knows what chips and Dr. Pepper are.
Oh, Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper. He is health conscious, that George Gray. Aubrey White asks about our daily routines. What is our daily routine? Well, Aubrey, if you go on our YouTube channel, you'll see my day in the life video, and you can see all about my daily routine. But for those of you who haven't seen it, it's get in the car, drive for a really long time, get to CBS, check in at the office, make sure any last-minute changes haven't occurred in the last 12 hours since I've been in the office. Go over to the studio. We have a meeting in the morning with our cast and some members of our crew, producers, stage managers, our associate director, and we go over the 2 shows for the day. It's a quick little meeting. Then I go upstairs and to the control room, meet with our cameramen, talk to them about the shows for the day, give them any special instructions, and then we rehearse our first show, take a 20-minute break, load the audience, tape the first show. Then we go to lunch, then we come back, we do it all over again, another rehearsal, another audience, another show, and then I go back to the office and do some work and have some meetings and get together with the other members of our staff, talking about upcoming shows, anything special is coming up, anything going on the next day that we need to take care of. Then another glorious ride home, and then I go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again the next day. That's my day. James, your day starts similarly, but then goes in a different direction.
It sure does. Well, I guess we're talking about a day working on Price is Right. My days often vary quite a bit, but when I'm working Price is Right, I try, if we've got a late enough start, I'll go to the gym and get home, have my muesli, my coffee. I live about 10 minutes, maybe even I've probably got it down to a 5-minute drive from CBS Studios, so I've got that down pat. I'm through the side streets, so I get there probably quite a bit later than Adam as well. Less responsibilities on my back. We check in. I usually go down to the makeup room where all the girls are just to hear what they're chatting about. They're usually just having some funny conversations with all of the girls, and Carol, the makeup artist, and Angela, the stylist, will all be down there. That's always a bit entertaining. I go grab another coffee and head in for the meeting. That's the first time I'll see Adam usually. Brief us on what's happening, how many times I'm going to have my shirt off that day. We head out and I'm provided with some clothes by Price is Right, so we try on that and get myself ready, and head out to do the show. I spend a lot of time running, standing backstage, ready to go on, and then now I've got to run out there, jump on, do my thing, and then I'm backstage. it's a lot of like hurry up and go. I think like waiting, go. You just want to make sure you're not late. Don't miss any cues. It doesn't happen too often. I don't think, does it, Adam? Of course not. And then yeah, lunch, and then we do the second show. I sometimes have a sleep at lunch. Don't know how exciting that is, but
that's nice.
That must be nice. It's a high energy show.
That's not fair.
I feel everything I say. I feel like I'm chucking it right in your face, Adam, but it's not my intention at all.
I'm writing all of this down.
Yeah. Like, okay, more duties for James. And yeah, I often I'm often doing a lot of classes and things like that. So if it makes you feel any better, Adam, often straight after we finish, I'll go and end up doing a rehearsal for a show I might be doing, or go and do a class, or you know. So oftentimes my day then continues after the show till 11 or so o'clock, and then off to bed and do it all again the next day.
Fun.
Adam, it looks like we have a question for you. He says, Adam Sandler, besides Dream Car Week and Big Money Week, what other theme weeks are you planning on bringing back next season, and are there any new ones in the works, like Movie Week?
No plans for a movie week right now. As far as other theme weeks we're going to bring back, let's see, you'll see our usual Christmas shows. Let's see, I'm sure we'll do another socially awesome social media type event at some point, because these things are fun, and it'd be great to grow them and get even more people involved on these chats, and have these, you know, we have a lot of people here with us so far, but it'd be great to have these questions just, you know, flowing through, and it'd be really great to see everybody interacting with us like this. And we've got a couple new ones coming, and I don't want to spoil them because I hate spoilers, but all I'm going to say is don't miss Premiere Week on The Price is Right in September. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. I am so excited about it. It's going to be fantastic. Don't miss it.
Yeah, and then we're always trying to, you know, the specials we repeat, we're always trying to make them bigger and better than they were the year before. And we have, this is Eric, he's our prize producer. We are coming up with new specials and new ideas, and definitely tweet us ideas if you have ideas. We love input. And big things coming in the spring. Basically watch Price is Right every day, and it's going to be fun, and you're always going to find something awesome.
I see this question, Kay. This is a good question from Anthony Kasperic. The April Fool's episode blew my mind. How was it reuniting with Bob Barker? That must have been a huge surprise to the audience. What was it like seeing everyone's reaction, and was the whole crew in on it? I'll take it from the back to the front. Yes, backstage, we all knew Bob was going to be there, of course. We were all ready for him, and it was it a surprise to the audience? Absolutely. It was a huge surprise to the audience. It was hard actually to direct that because I wanted to watch all the faces of the people, and I had to keep cutting the show. And I went back and watched it later because I wanted to see all their faces, and really, I watched it a couple times because people were just absolutely blown away. It was so much fun. And the reaction that he got and his reaction to it was great too, and it was really fun to see him back out there and doing it one more time.
Yeah, one of the highlights for me that day was we have a Price is Right golf cart, which is really fun to drive around the lot, and I actually got to drive Bob in the golf cart, so that was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. I went really slowly. We were driving down this big hill coming down from the stage, and I was so afraid that the golf cart was going to get away from me and like something was going to happen. So we went.
That would have been quite the viral moment.
Right? Not one that we wanted.
No,
but
that would have been very bad.
Yeah. It looks like, is George joining us again? I can't tell.
It looked like George was trying to join.
There was another question that could go, I think, for Adam. Since the door frames have been redone and brought back the classic look of 1972 to 2007, have you thought about redoing the turntable to have the classic look of the former, yet continue to have the feel it has now?
Well, once again, no spoilers, but don't miss premiere week on The Price is Right. That's all I'm saying.
Very cryptic.
Gotta watch. Gotta watch.
I'm excited myself now.
Yeah, no, we got some good stuff coming up. But specifically to your turntable home base question, Justin, don't miss premiere.
There is a question. It's actually directed to George, but until he comes back, I think it'd be a fun one for Adam and James to answer. It says, "Hey, Price Crew, I have a question for George. What is your funniest moment you have had during the 2015 season so far?" I know for me, there were one that definitely sticks out is the George treadmill incident. That was just, luckily he was okay, but that was just quite funny. And then the Manuela giving away the car by mistake. I don't know if that was funny, but that was just, wow. He handled it great, but that was definitely a memorable moment from the season. James, what about you?
I think the Manuela giving away the car was an interesting one because despite the fact that all the news articles that had Manuela's picture, everybody that I know in Australia and in America and everywhere said, "Oh man, is this you? Did you do this?" They were sure it must have been me. I think they read their headline like, and they're like, "Oh man, he hasn't been there long and you would screw it up." But that was certainly, I think that was a great moment. I think Manuela's expression was priceless. There's a moment, I think, for me early on that at the time didn't seem that funny, but now I do find it, and I don't believe it would have been aired, but it was my first time on the turntable, and I believe I was giving away a karaoke package, so the whole thing is that you're standing there, you're waiting for the moment for your prize to be announced, and you're not facing the audience, so you've got this disorienting kind of moment where you're suddenly spun around in front of a crowd of 300 people. So the physical disorientation of it, and so then you're around, and I start doing my thing. I'm singing like I'm playing with this karaoke package, and then Drew has a thing where he always asks, "Oh, what song are you singing?" Now I wasn't prepared for that at all, so all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, whoop, okay, got to think about a song," and I start talking. I've just been spun around, 300 people there. I start talking, and my voice comes out over the loudspeaker, which I wasn't expecting either, and just completely threw me. And I went, God damn it. And everybody's I just completely had nothing to say. It was a great moment because it made me sort of realised, oh, good, so I can stuff up and be a complete idiot, and it's not the end of the world. But that was certainly a memorable moment. Now I can look back at it and I think it's really funny as well. But it's certainly my most memorable moment.
Heather, you mentioned George on the treadmill, which. Yeah, it was actually for me a scary moment because he went down and I was like, oh no, now we need a new announcer. Oh god.
That was the first thought that came to your head.
Yeah,
what about the show?
He went down hard. And George, God, no, that was a bad fall, and but no one else in the world could have handled it like George did. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. Manuela's was a good one, a different kind of funny, but. Actually, the one moment that made me crack up, I don't know if anybody will even remember this, but there was a contestant, a young girl, young college student, and she comes up to see Drew. She had actually reached out price. She comes up on stage. She runs up to Drew in front of door 2. He says, where are you from? She tells him where she's from, and he says, what do you do? And she says, I'm a college student. And he says, what are you studying? She says, I'm studying education in college. And what she meant was that she was studying to be a teacher. She's studying the profession of educating people. But what she said was education in college. And the way she said it, and then she smiled and gave the camera a thumbs up. was just classic, and Drew lost it. I lost it. It was so funny, and I still remember that one. That was probably my funniest moment of season 43. Did we get?
I think that there's a few inappropriate gifts, inappropriate prize moments as well. I think one day I was there. There was a woman. She must have been about 92 or something like that, and she won a treadmill. I think, where she was going for a treadmill. It's always it's always a bit of an interesting moment, but Drew always handles it very well.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question. I like these types of questions. Get us off Price is Right for a second. You can have any Little Debbie snack right now. What do you want? They have Little Debbie snacks in Australia, James.
What? Can you explain what a Little Debbie snack is?
Little Debbie snacks are they're like it's a brand that makes like cupcakes and Twinkie type things and ring ding and like those kind of real hardcore, super sweet things, and cream filled treats.
That we'll all be eating if there's an apocalypse, and they'll survive.
Yeah, cockroaches and those types of snacks. We'll survive.
Right.
Let's see, Little Debbie snack. I'm part. I don't know what they actually call them, but the ring ding, generic term for ring ding, whatever Little Debbie calls it, that's what I would eat. The ring ding equivalent of Little Debbie. I think I don't know who does ring ding. Is it Hostess? But whatever. James, any snack cake preference on your part?
Well, I had my first Twinkie the other day, and it's an interesting experience. As you say, it's a pretty sweet, and it wasn't. It was weird to have something almost nostalgic that I'd never eaten before. I think my favorite introduction to the Twinkie was in The Simpsons, where they're in the Cookie Mart and somebody scrunches up one of the Twinkies, and Apu, the guy says, "A foolish customer, you can never destroy a Twinkie," and that's all I knew about them. But look, they're pretty good. They're not they're not going to be my number one snack, but it's pretty good.
Well, I recommend Tasty Cakes next time you're
Tasty Cake.
Tasty Cakes are a little hard to find on the West Coast.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're mostly an East Coast thing.
Sounds like the sort of thing that I could leave in my car and it would last a while for when I'm just stuck on the road and I can't breathe.
Yeah, as long as it's in the, well, even if it's not in the wrapper, it's probably fine. Well, we only got about 6 minutes left till the show's over on the Eastern Seaboard. What any other good questions come in here that you saw?
I've been looking. Oh, here's one. If you could go anywhere in the world on vacation right now, where would you go and why?
I would. We've been killing for a trip to Tulum in Mexico. I went there once before, and it was my ideal holiday. I mean, we were staying in a cabin with no electricity, no phone reception or Wi-Fi, right on the beach. We had big open windows that just went straight out, where the air would come in off the water down, and
looks like he might be freezing.
I think James's internet connection.
And a little old Mexican lady was are we still on? So yeah, that's my dream holiday. Just as long as there's beach and sunshine, I'm happy.
What about you, Adam?
Well, James broke up for most of that, but I think what he said was Tulum. For me, you know what? I was just, because hey, I watch a lot of Price is Right. I saw a trip to, it was like an overwater bungalow in Tahiti or Fiji. So I would say anywhere, any South Pacific island, you can give me an overwater bungalow. I'm there.
Hey, am I back, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh, it's George.
George Gray's back, everybody.
Yeah, but I hear you.
You can hear him, but we
Yay.
can't.
Yeah, you can't see me?
Can't see
Not
you,
at
but
the
we can hear
moment,
you.
but we can hear you, so that's fine. That's great.
Okay. Well, I
You-
don't mean to strike fear into James' heart, but I'm about ready to go through a border checkpoint. So if they ask if I know you, I'm just going to say no. It's a business relationship. I don't want you to take it personally, but I just can't afford this. Cat with me, you know.
That's a good tactic.
Oh
I think,
man,
there.
and they're walking a dog around the truck. Oh, and they're gonna love my cat. All right, fingers crossed. Keep you posted. Here we go.
If only you were on video and we could see this.
Okay.
Well,
Hello, how are
George,
you? Hey, how's it going? Excellent, thank you, sir.
Oh, we can even hear him going through the border.
Let's listen to George's border.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm going to St. Louis right now.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a drive, but
How long does that take?
it's 20 hours from here.
20 hours. And you
Yeah.
coming from Douglas?
Coming from Bisbee, actually.
Bisbee? Okay.
Got a house in Bisbee. Yeah.
Oh,
This is
what
interesting.
year is that?
It's 59.
Can we ride it?
Motorcycle.
Well, actually, you got more power than I do, so technically, yes. You
Okay,
can.
like
So you're an American citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right, so drive safe.
Thanks very much. Have a good day, guys. Be safe.
Well, it appears George
Like
is successful in getting it.
congratulations.
I made it.
Yes.
Woo. Oh man. He said, "Are you an American citizen?" And I said, "Yes." And then he said, "Do you know any shady Australians?" I was like, "Oh, how do I answer this? What do I say?"
Because that's just no. Like that's not even who you're friends with. So.
And not exactly how I remember the conversation going, since we were actually able to hear it.
Nice. Well, because I have a 1959 Indian chief in the back, and he said, "Oh, can we ride it?" And yeah, I said, "Well, you have more power than me right now." What I really wanted to say was, "You guys are the ones with the German Shepherd and the guns. I pretty much think you can do whatever you want."
Whatever you want. Yes, sir.
I'm out in a lonesome highway with 4 guys with weapons. Yeah, you want to take the bike, knock yourself out.
Whatever you say.
Yes.
Hey, George.
So I'm now in New Mexico. I am now officially in New Mexico.
Oh, wonderful.
Let's see
but
now.
George,
I can't see myself. If I tap on that, does that do something? Does that you? It just says you. Does that? But that doesn't put me in there.
yeah, I don't know.
Your camera might have been turned off, but it's okay because we only have a minute left anyway.
Oh, okay.
George, before we're almost out of time for the East Coast one, although we will be back for the West Coast in an hour. George, this is the most pressing question that you missed. If you could have any Little Debbie's snack right now, what would it be?
Ooh, gosh. You know what? I love that kind of stuff. I could just smear it across my face, and this is the perfect trip point. Like, because I try to be responsible when I'm, when I'm like working and stuff. But when I'm on vacation, they've got one of the ones that have the little, they're kind of ding dong size, and they've got the little kind of sprinkly things on top. Those.
Well played.
The ding dong.
Those are the good ones.
All right. Well,
Good ones.
I think we only have a few seconds to go, but so let's just wrap up. Thanks, George, for joining us from the road somewhere in America, and thanks for joining us also from the road somewhere in California. Thank you, Heather. And we will be back in exactly 60 minutes, the 3 of us, for the West Coast feed. So please feel free to join us. Tell your friends, and keep those questions coming, and we will see you in an hour. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Oh, that was good, Adam. You're very professional. Bye, guys.
Bye. Go to pricesright.com and you'll see the link to the West Coast.
Pricesright.com.
And happy Socially Awesome Week.